my 6. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the most awesomest homesteading channel on the planet. It typically doesn't have anything whatsoever to do with homesteading. Homesteading off the grid. Coming at you from a slightly different angle here today. Excuse me. The pollen is still heavy around here because we've been getting these thunderstorms coming in, and when they come, it rains, and it rains hard. So I didn't want to get too far away from the house in case that happens while I'm recording. So continue to get my 6. That's military jargon for watch behind me. You never know who or what may or may not walk up behind me in any of these videos. And happy 78th birthday to viewer Daniel Palmer. Birthday wishes sent to you through me by way of your wonderful wife, who's always thinking about you. All right, so got some stories for you. Going to get right to it. Try to beat the rain, and plus it's going to be dark before too long. Doesn't it look nice behind me? Spring is here. Sadly, those green leaves you see, those are trees that will come down. Those are Bradford pears. They're invasive, and I've been going through and taking them out. Got to take those ones there out tomorrow. So this is from Liz. Okay, folks, if you have a story of anything strange, you can email it to the channel. The email address is crazylake@mail.com. It can be about the paranormal, the supernatural, UFOs, aliens, abductions, cryptids like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, anything weird, strange dreams, angels, near-death experiences. Okay, so Liz writes, I have an interesting story, and if you happen to tell it, just use my first name, please. Okay. My son was about 5 years old, and he had diabetes. I was fast asleep one night when I had this dream. A lady was standing with my son, and she said, go and tell thy mother that there is something wrong in regard to thy health. This dream woke me up, right up. I wondered about it, but went right back to sleep. However, a while later, I had the same dream. The lady was dressed in a long dress in muted colors, something like you would have seen a country woman in earlier times, maybe like a Quaker wearing. This time, I also woke up immediately and sat straight up. I went into my son's room. He was fast asleep, but I got his test kit and tested his glucose. His blood sugar was slightly low, so I went back to my room and set my alarm for 2 hours later. When it went off, I took the test kit back to his room and tested him again. Sure enough, his reading was very low. I got him some juice and a snack and fed it to him. Later tests were good. Who was this lady that warned me? Was it an angel? Was it one of our ancestors? I will always remember that and wonder. I have several more strange happenings with the paranormal and with UFOs, which I will submit later, so as not to go over the limited amount of words. Thanks for all your sharings, and we will all have your 6. Thank you, Liz. So, folks, give us your thoughts in the comments section on these strange happenings. You think that it was just a strange dream, or was there an ancestor spirit involved, or even an angel? Let us know what you think. All right, this is from Robin. Robin says, I've written to you before, and after watching your latest video, I wanted to share something that happened to me. You can read this on your channel if you'd like, and use my first name, Robin. Please don't share my last name. Okay. And folks, if you submit your stories, you got to give us permission to share them and let us know if you want us to use your name or not. If you don't, we can keep you anonymous. Okay, so she's talking about a story from a recent video where a little kid saw a witch in the shower. Then his grandmother battled that witch and killed the witch in her sleep. Robin has something similar. She says her father died in 2014 when she was 42. She goes on to explain that they never really had a good relationship because he was possibly a narcissist. But after his death, she would just have these terrible nightmares, and she'd wake up breathing hard, panicky, sweating. She says, eventually, a few years ago, this went away, and I was able to sleep soundly. However, about a year ago, it started up again. After months of this going on, one night I got fed up. In my dream, I sent energy out of the palms of my hands, directed the energy towards the creatures, and blew them up. So she would be visited in her dreams by these evil creatures. I didn't realize I could do that. I have not seen the creatures since, and I'm not afraid of them anymore. I feel more confident overall and have learned that we have more power than we realize. I subscribed to your son's channel and watched his first video. It's really good. He's quite the character and takes after you in that regard. His mom is adorable, and you have a beautiful family. I'm so glad I stumbled across your channel a couple of months ago when I was researching the toxic fog. Thank you again for everything you do. Sincerely, Robin. Robin, thank you for your kind words and your story of battling evil monsters in your sleep. Folks, my son has started his own YouTube channel. It's called Get My Six. I will try to remember to put, he's only made one video so far. I'll put it in this video at the very end, so you can click on it and go over there and do me a favor and subscribe and watch him as he puts up content. I appreciate you for doing that. Named his channel Get My Six after the moniker for this one. My trademark opening. How endearing is that? Isn't that endearing? All right. So we've got another story from Darla. Darla is a regular contributor. Darla writes, I forwarded one of your videos with my story you chose to read concerning the two animal apparitions to a dear friend of mine I've known since grade school, hobby paranormal investigator Tammy Benjamin. She replied, I take it you sent in the one about the hotel in Virginia. Well, that got my attention. I mean, that's where I live. I mean, you can tell by all the garb, man. They ought to put me on the payroll. Looks like I'm always promoting them. And I'm not even an alumnus. I'm just a fan of the sports teams because they're the local team, you know what I mean? It's neat living here in Charlottesville or outside of it. We went to a Brooks and Dunn concert at John Paul Jones Arena 2 nights ago as of this recording, Saturday night. Brooks and Dunn was here in Charlottesville. I saw them 32 years ago or 33 years ago. It was like 1993 in Charleston, West by God, Virginia. Here they are now. Kix Brooks is 69 and Ronnie Dunn 71, and they're still going at it. I know that their ages because I Googled it. They're very impressive. They were just as entertaining 2 nights ago as they were 32 years ago. So if you get a chance to see Brooks and Dunn while they're on tour, go check them out. All right, so Darla continues. Here's the condensed version of her Virginia story. She writes, I stayed at the Wayside Inn in Middleton, Virginia, approximately 20 years ago. This inn has been in continuous operation since 1797. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of old stuff around here in Virginia, you know, because we settled there at Jamestown, 1604, and just expanded west from there. My ex-husband and I were in the bedroom. My mother and son slept in the adjoining living room. My mother came into my room in the middle of the night, somewhat frightened, waking me with, Darla, I can hear a battle taking place, cannonballs and all. I got out of bed, went into her room, and determined it was only wind howling through the old fireplace. She disagreed. Nonetheless, I went back to bed. Just as I was getting settled in once again, I clearly heard a man's stern voice. You are on my side of the bed. I looked up and saw a hazy apparition of a man with a beard, clearly in a Civil War military uniform. I jumped out of bed, swiftly ran to the other side, excitedly pushed my husband over, explaining what just happened. He was used to me seeing unexplainable things, so he simply rolled over. I want to say for the record, the hotel and tavern is an amazing part of history, had very comfortable accommodations, great food, and simply fascinating. I really want to go back someday. As always, you have my permission and Tammy's. One of your biggest fans, Darla. Thank you, Darla. Appreciate your story. I'm going to have to Google that location, look that place up, and see if me and the family can't maybe go spend a couple of nights in that motel/hotel and see if we can have an experience of our own. We like to just every 6 weeks or so, like if we've been here and we haven't gone somewhere, we'll just take a couple of days and we'll just drive for 4 or 5 hours and just with nowhere to go, and then stop and spend the night, because Dearly and Daniel love doing that. They think it's fun, and I enjoy it, and it's time together. And we're one of those families that when we're in our car, our truck, we never turn the radio on. So it's conversation, talk about life, see the scenery. You ought to try it sometimes, folks, sometime. And Darla, I think you've just inspired me to go to Middleton, Virginia and seek out that haunted hotel. All righty. Now, from Bob. And that's a pseudonym. That's his rock star name. I used to have a rock star name. I was in a band called the Dead Fish Project. I was pretty much the only person in the band, but I didn't refer to myself as the Dead Fish Project because that was the band name. My name was Kev Dog. Yep, I was a hillbilly rapper. Yep, I know, it's hard to believe. My gosh, I think I've done just about everything except have a real job. Man, he's one of those. Shoo. All right. Hi, Kevin. This is Jack and Tina. You can use our first names as I haven't told you our last name yet. LOL. You're so silly. We have your channels locked in as some of our top favorites. I believe you are almost as crazy as I am, but I am a musician / songwriter, so I have an excuse. LOL. Anyway, ... I am a writer / storyteller, so I have an excuse to be crazy too. Okay. LOL. ... My wife and I have been married for 46 years this April. Congratulations. And we both are very sensitive to spirits around us and everywhere. We have a ton of things that we could tell you on this subject. One such happening is we bought a house that was on the hill or bank of a former place where Indians / Native Americans used to live. I grew up in the direct area, and my wife grew up close to the same area. We had a bunch of different happenings in this house and area, but I will give you just a couple of them. We had a landline. It was just before cell phones were a thing. Oh, this is a creepy story. Basically, so they had the landline, they had the voicemail, you remember the machines? Answering machines. And automatic speed dial callback, all that. All this fancy stuff just before landlines were no longer a thing because of, cell phones. Their system used to make phone calls to people on their friends, numbers that they had called or was somehow in the system, or their family members. And then when the person would answer the phone, it would start recording, and it would just record the whole one-sided conversation. So Jack and Tina's friends and family thought that they were pranking them, until there were times when they were at their friends' houses and their system called and recorded the conversations while nobody was in the house. That is super creepy. All right. On another occasion, he writes, about 2 weeks before the 9/11 incident happened, we had been busy in the yard, and when we came in, my wife Tina went into the kitchen to start cooking. She's an awesome cook, like your wife is. Yes, my wife's an awesome cook. And I went into the family room to find a movie to watch for the night. Before I picked out something to watch, I sat back on the couch to rest for a minute. As I was leaning back on the couch, I closed my eyes for about 2 minutes and started feeling like something was watching me. So I opened my eyes, and there was an old Indian woman with pretty and long gray salt and pepper hair standing right in front of me, bent over and looking me in the face while holding a little dog in her arms, petting it. It scared both of us, and she backed away real fast as I tried to back away against the back of the couch, but she kept backing up and disappeared through the back of the house as I was facing it. I hollered for Tina to look out the window that was right on the left side of me, where she was at the sink in the kitchen, to see if she saw anyone, but she didn't see her come through the wall there. This was pretty freaky, to say the least. Yeah, I bet. There are other things that happen there as well that I will try to send you sometimes, but I thought you might like what I just told you, though it is not the freakiest things that have happened there. If you're interested in other things that happened, just let me know. Some involved our children, other family members, and such. Thanks for your time and effort to your channels. Keep them a-rolling, and remember, we have your 6, so please have ours if you would. Hope you enjoy it. With love always, Bob Green, my musician pseudonym. Thank you, Bob. Bob / what in the... That's the wrong... Wow, where'd that other piece of paper go? There it is. / Jack and Tina. Sorry about that. I didn't want to call you Darla. Crazy. All right. I've reached that point in life where everything in my head kind of starts going together. So here's one from Anthony Maloka. A lot of you folks have already reached that stage in life too, right? They call it brain fog or something. Yeah, you hit 50, brain fog kicks in, your muscles start eating themselves at 5% per year. If you don't do weight training and work out, you just end up withering away. Gotta do some stuff, people. Exercise and stuff. All right. From Anthony Maloka. Hi, Kevin. I've been watching your channel for a while now, and I enjoy it very much. The stories are amazing. You can share my story and my name. Right now, I'm retired in Mexico. However, back in 1984, thereabouts, I lived in Marina del Rey, California. I had a doctor appointment one morning for an EKG at his office in Marina del Rey. There was an elevator in the building, and basically, this is pretty creepy too. The elevator moved very, very slowly. Okay, once you got on, very, very slowly. After his appointment, he and another person were walking towards the elevator to get on, and they saw this woman that was dressed in like a black cloak, completely out of normal character, it would seem, for somebody to be dressed under these circumstances. She was coming the other way down the hall, and she got onto this elevator, and the doors closed. Well, Anthony and the person who was with him made it to the elevator, and they pushed the button before the elevator had time to go up or down any flights, and the doors slowly opened, and the woman was gone. She was not there. So, and he asked the doctor about it the next time he was there, and he had told the doctor what happened, and he asked him if anybody had said anything similar in the building, or asked if the building was haunted, and of course he smiled at me and said no. So the doctor either thought he was crazy or there's something to it. The doctor didn't want to divulge it. So, folks, there's some pretty awesome stories. I want to thank all of our senders who sent those stories. Again, if you have a story that you would like to have shared with people that love spooky stories, you can send it to the channel. The email address again is crazylake@mail.com. You've got to give us permission to use your story any way we deem fit. And let us know if you want us to use your name, we will. If not, we will keep you anonymous. FYI, we've gotten far more stories than we've actually had time to share over the years. So back in 2022 or 2023, I decided I would just start compacting these stories together. And every time they hit an accumulation of 40,000 words, which is how many words are in a full-length novel, that we would release them under the title True Hauntings. Personal experiences of people's real experiences, that I'm saying these words out of order, with the paranormal, supernatural, UFOs, cryptids, aliens, abductions, etc. We are now, these stories, among others, are going into volume 10. So it's like 3 years later, we've published 9 of those. Those are available in print and Kindle format. I looked away because I'm facing the field across the road, and I just saw a deer on the other side. But yeah, they're on Amazon. The description box, or the link for that, is in the description box below. Again, my son recently started a channel. It's called Get My Six. His video should be popping up anytime soon. Please go subscribe to his channel, support him. Thanks for supporting me, and I'll see you for more next time. Again, happy 78th birthday, Daniel Palmer.